Om Shri Ganeshaya Namo Nama. Greetings to everyone world over, all our brothers and sisters across the globe, wherever you are. We extend you a very warm welcome, hearty welcome. Such a pleasure to have you on Saturday evening. Today, of course, we have changed the timing a little bit. We are starting at 7 p.m. instead of 9 p.m. It was basically one of the most important and a very, very captivating subject, which all of us we would be keen about. And at the same time, our teachers, our educators, our coach, our counselors, our mentors, and at the same time, parents and administrators, everybody got to understand in our day-to-day life, whether in school or in college or in university, wherever we talk about, or even in our day-to-day life at our workplace, at home, wherever we are, empowering our teachers, educators, trainers, mentors, coach, counselors, everybody is very important for all of us. So, today's subject, when we talk about, it's very important. It's next to our heart. It's related to our day to day life. Parents, teachers, and students. All of us is a golden triangle. We will talk about today. It's a very proud moment. We have got today Dr. Ranjana Tiwari ji. She is the adjunct professor all the way in Australia, and she is the renowned wellness coach. We had a pleasure to have her with us earlier as well, and she had been very kind on the popular demand and request of our global audience, and particularly people those are from the education fraternity. They requested that we should have a detailed discussion today, particularly in the post pandemic period. People are having lots of challenges, whether it's parents or it's teachers or it's schools, colleges, universities, institutions, ITIs, polytechnics, skill centers, everybody. So, with these words, I extend a very warm welcome and join me in inviting Dr. Ranjana Tiwari today for a very special session. Hearty welcome and pleasure to have you, ma'am, with us once again. God bless you. Thank you very much. It was a very interesting session last time which you gave, but there was a paucity of time. आज टाइम की कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, हमने 9 बजे के बजाय 7 बजे शुरू कर दिया है। सारा टाइम आपका है। और बहुत सारे मेरे दोस्तों ने आज ये भी कहा है कनाडा और अमेरिका में कि हम मॉर्निंग जॉगिंग में नहीं जाएंगे। Today we will have a mental jogging with Dr. Ranjana Tiwari. So all of us, we will be together in that journey. With these words, ma'am, we extend you a very warm welcome and let's go deep down for all kind of strokes of the swimming in the wellness pool of the life. Dr. Ranjana Tiwari.
Thank you so much, sir, for inviting me again. It's indeed a pleasure. Okay. Last time when we spoke, somewhere we tried to cover so many things in one session, and it was 9 to 10, and still it got extended. Somehow it got extended, and I actually lost the time
Track
check.
of the time.
Yeah, completely. But
Yeah.
after that, when we had discussion, then it actually hit me that we had just covered the tip of the iceberg,
Yes.
which I'm going to talk now later on in this session. But there is so much to cover in well-being, wellness and well-being industry as such. And travel and tourism, well-being, travel and tourism is again a small part of well-being industry. So when we discussed last time, when we had particularly spoken about student well-being, we had spoken about well-being in general, holistic well-being and all. And then as we discussed, okay, it hit me that why not we do something regarding student well-being. When I was diving deep into student well-being, that what can we do? What solid we can do. There are influencers, there are something which is going on in the universities, colleges, and all, which we'll get to know in some time. I've covered that as well. But there is something which is lacking, and that something is we as educators or teachers, we are not equipped enough to teach our students about wellness or well-being. Okay. So that's why after our session last time when we had session, so this session is you can say one step ahead of that session, where we are talking more about how can we equip our teachers, our educators as wellness warrior. And when I say wellness warrior, I know the the strictness of the term warrior. It is actually a war, the health field, and to talk about mental health and physical health, psychological health, and all. So the way the generation is moving, I'll talk about millennial and Gen Z particularly. So the way we are moving towards, and the impact of technology is there, impact of our surroundings, and most of the time there is disassociation. So how are we going to keep ourselves well? Now, well doesn't mean that keeping healthy or smiling or being chirpy all the time is well-being. It's more than that. That we are going to discuss in today's session. So when we start, I'll just share my PPT.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, today is a very, very important session for all of us. And I would also be taking all the notes, and so you can, because let's pick up as many threads as possible. And we would like our students, parents, and everybody got to get a benefit of it. We can see your presentation, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So please call me Ranjana.
Okay, please. Yeah.
Fine. So how the idea came about educating teachers, but not students first. So when we talk about educators, we dedicate our entire life. Like I know I started teaching, like not formal teaching, but I started teaching when I was in bachelor's. So for pocket money, I used to go to one prep school, and there I used to teach and all, and engage at least 4 to 5 hours with students of first grade, second grade, and third grade. So I started teaching back then. Later on, with university students, different institutes, bachelor's and master's students, and sometimes with PhD students as well. So when we start teaching, it's an educator specifically. So we have this pressure. Obviously, we want to earn money, we want to have that name and fame in the society. But in the back end, we have this feeling that it's our responsibility to reform the society. And how are we going to reform the society? With reforming the students, okay? That not only we want to just disseminate the academic information. With academic information, we want to inculcate some good habits, good manners, or different paradigm of lifestyle, which we do naturally. We do, but while doing so, we are taking care. And when I say we, particularly females, at least in India, we say number of male educators or teachers are less in comparison to the female teachers, because maybe it is considered as the safe job, that where parents are comfortable sending their daughters there, and you can flourish. And sometimes it's said that academic job is safe, and itna tension nahi hota hai. Although all these things were like gone by, like 20 years back maybe, but nowadays it's more about balancing your personal professional life. Then you are not only dealing with students, okay? As an educator, it's my experience. As an educator, I was not only dealing with students, I was dealing with students' parents. I was dealing with the board members, or the educators, or the people who are coming up with the policies and recommendations for the university. I was dealing with the peer pressure. I was dealing with the academic peer pressure also. Okay, so there are like lots of stakeholders are there. It's not only that only teachers are there, so student teachers interaction. So what happens most of the time, in trying to conquest so many things, we forget to take care of ourselves as an educator. We forget to eat on time. We forget to exercise. No, exercise doesn't mean like going to gym and sweating out. No, just mental exercise or physical exercise. This. So that's why before before empowering students, or before asking students to follow the norms and practices of well-being, I think this is very important. If we as an educator can start something or start practicing the tools and practice and equipments of wellness and well-being. So that before going ahead, I want all of us here right now live and maybe later on to watch this video. I hope this is audible now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. What we have just seen is the gist of what's happening right now. That, and when I say this, I can say with conformity because I have seen this personally. That students of particular age group, they don't want to speak up, or they feel that they are unheard. They feel that even the parents or teachers, let alone even the parents or their peer group, they are not understanding their view, their viewpoint. And actually, we all have gone through that stage. It's not like nowadays it's happening. We all have gone through that stage. But the problem is that the plethora of information and plethora of positive and negative information, which is accessible to today's youth, Gen Zs or millennials, so much that what's happening right now is alarming. Now I'm going to present, sir, first you tell me, you have this much teaching experience. Like you are the founding member of IITTM, academic programs. You go ahead, you go abroad and you take classes here also. What's your observation regarding this? That what have you seen regarding the student well-being or student mental health, or how students behave in your class? No, not in your class particularly, because when I feel that when orator is what energetic, then even the students try to they try to get along. But what's your general observation regarding students or Gen Zs or millennials, whatever?
I think, first of all, more than academics, we should be devoting more time to understand, in totality, how are they at home? How is the environment at home? How is the situation at home? How is their financial health? How is the physical health? All those factors also to be taken into consideration. Thereafter, the teacher should come for subject. Ma'am,
Yeah.
small request is coming from abroad that your volume is low today.
Low
Your
as in
volume,
like I'm sounding low or this is low?
no, no, volume is low. You are sounding totally energetic,
Okay.
ready, absolutely
Yes.
fine. The only thing
Yes.
is that somewhere the volume is low, ma'am.
Okay, let me see.
If it is possible to increase, because
I mean,
just
I have
people have
increased.
written me on the WhatsApp.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me check audio setting. It's full. Right.
Anyway, let's
Right.
try it out. Or maybe you can keep the mic near, or maybe the laptop a little more near, whatever
Okay.
it is. Can you hear me clearly, ma'am?
I can hear you clearly.
So it means somewhere we got to a little bit boost up the volume part, or maybe you got to be near laptop, a little
Okay.
bit more near. Will work
Okay.
out. Or
Okay.
maybe you are using the earphone and
Yes.
maybe some kind of a loss of signal somewhere in between. But
Maybe.
let's
Maybe.
see. Let's see. Please go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So as you were saying that before going into academics or the subject or the course subject, at least
Yes.
as a teacher or as an educator, we should start being aware about the students in our class. And
Yes.
that we'll see that what you have said is beautiful. And I'll come back to what you have said in one of the theory which we are going to address in this session. So I'll just say that the video which we have seen right now and the data which I'm going to present right now is alarming. So this is one of the study which has been done by Schizophrenia Research Foundation in Chennai. So they had done one study on the mental health issues on 15,000 students. So when they have done this study, so they gave out the numbers. They said 12.4 students are suicidal in nature right now. They said 32% of students are suffering from moderate to severe depression. Then 30% students are suffering from anxiety. So you can see that it's more than 50%. And if you can cumulatively, so the students who are suffering from some or other issue, okay, I'll not say that they are sick or they are mad or mental. These are very different terms, okay? I'll not say they are depressed, but they are facing some or other issue right now. Despite being having all the resources around which can cure them, or there are resources they can go, they can talk, there are professional services nowadays, you have your parents and teachers, everybody is there, but only less than 5% students seek professional help. Okay, they seek professional help, and either they are self-aware or they get these professional help because they are pushed by their friends, they are pushed by their parents. So this number is again alarming, and which again gets back to our mind that why having a well-being program is very important in school and for students. Now, this report also says it suggested that early intervention or the awareness among teachers, parents, of course, parents, that's a part of family, and the community members. It's really important that they can identify the symptoms. Okay, and how will they identify the symptoms if we talk about teachers? Because most of the time, like growing up years, the founding years of student or a person being spent in school. Most of the time at home, when they come, they'll go for classes. There are some or other co-curricular activity classes, or they are sleeping, eating and all. So most of the time they are spending in school. So it becomes very important for a teacher to be aware. And I'm not talking about only one teacher, that dedicated teacher is there and he or she is going in every classroom and finding out, oh, now this is my job. No, this is the job of every person, every teacher who is taking class. But before that, they need to equip themselves. If they themselves don't know what's going on and how to recognize these symptoms, and if they are recognizing symptoms but they are not able to give out the solution, so what is the, like, there is no need of having a holistic teacher. That's why nowadays maybe these I was just checking that an academy, have you heard about an academy? There are this online platform and different platforms are there. So now they are having this teacher training program for their courses. There are different OTT platforms are there which are having like train the teacher and all. They are training the teacher for their own courses. They are not training the teacher for the societal development. Okay, and I am coming from the perspective of societal development, and societal development will happen if we have our foundation strong, and that foundation strong is students. Okay, then we have, now before going ahead, let's watch another video. Okay, I hope you can audible.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Morning, everyone! Who does it look like?
It looks like me.
That's right. I want you to do everything that you can to knock your toy down. the strongest in class? Jeron, come on up, please. I'm going to give Jeron a prop, and he's going to try to knock it off the table. Ready, Jeron? Okay, children, who can tell me what it means to have resilience? Yes, Paige?
Resilience means if you make the toy fall down, it'll come back up very, very fast.
Very nice.
Sir, this is
What?
just a yeah.
Wonderful.
Okay, thank you. This is just a representation what a teacher can do in the class. Not only in the class, the way she handles, the way she or he inculcates the idea. That idea survives in the mind of the students or the kids throughout their life. Okay, throughout their life. Like I still remember anything which my teacher would have told me that Ranjana, this is good, this is that, this is that. I just got this. My son has restarted his school, and day first he came back and he said, "My new teacher name is Srini, and she wants every student to have healthy food, and she wants to see healthy food in every lunchbox, and she will check. And nowadays, I have started eating healthy." I said, as if I didn't tell you till now, but it's like the impact of teacher. You know, she's a different person. The teacher is different. But if parents try to have that connection and all, but I feel, this is my personal observation, that a teacher can have the primal impact on a student's or a kid's mind from age 4 to 5, 4, 5 till age 14 and 15. Later on, they can develop, of course, there will be some questioning and answering, and there will be discussion around and all, everything will happen. And because your mind is developed by the time you have your thinking capability and capacity, so later on, you as a student or as a person, I will retain only what I feel this is important for me, this is not important for me, and how my sounding ear was formed. So what I'm trying to say here is that until and unless how teacher can pass on such information or the information related to wellness or well-being, until and unless her own cup is full, until and unless I am happy, I cannot make others happy, right? I'm not making like happy generic term, but it's like I cannot understand the problems of others, problem of students, until and unless I feel content myself. And content here, I'm not advocating being happy all the time and being jiggly and all the time. No, just you understand the situation, aware, educate, and inform everybody. Now we saw the status stats related to the students. Now let's see what are the statistics of teachers. So you can see this is this data I have taken from National Institute of Health Science. So they are saying that teachers in post-COVID especially, so 4 to 77% teachers are suffering from depression, mild, moderate, high level. 38 to 41% teachers are anxious in their daily activities and all. 8.3 to 87% teachers are stressed. 25 to 74% teachers are burnout. Okay. So being in academic job, university or teaching job is not at all rosy anymore, which people had perception before that, go there and it's all happy and rosy and all. It's not at all like that. So because you have to deal with so many people, so many work and other things are there. So you need to understand that I need to take break.
Sorry.
I need to take break for 2 minutes. I'm sorry.
Sure. Please go ahead.
Yeah.
Please go ahead. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is something very scintillating, because we all got to understand when we are in education ecosystem, whether it is teachers or it is parents or it is the entire education ecosystem, where the principal, vice principal, headmaster, trainer, coach, counselor, technocrat, everybody has to give their best shot. Everybody has to put in their best efforts. And at the same time, we have to work in the direction where there should be a positivity, there should be a joyful learning. Everybody got to be happy. And I have felt myself sometime that children take liberty with their parents and sometimes with their grandparents. But somebody got to be in the family who got to be spotted as a tough person to whom child listens to. Like in my own sweet home, I've got that my daughter, my son-in-law, my wife, everybody, they are goody goody. But my grandchild, once he get that roaring lion's voice, tiger's voice, then he starts obeying and he starts moving in the direction which I keep telling him. So it does happen. Sometimes children don't listen to their own parents, but they would listen to others. It does happen sometimes. So we'll work out from that point of view. Please go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah. Sorry, baby call.
Please go
uh,
ahead. Hmm.
so as I was saying, so these data is also very alarming, as we had seen student related data. So now, being a wellness or well-being enthusiast, we thought, what can we do from grassroots level? Mm. Now, there is something while researching about this topic, as we spoke the other day. So I found out NCRT had introduced health and wellness course for students. Okay. So, and this course consisted 11 modules, and the 11 modules, they consisted physical health, emotional health, mental health. Like there were some 11 different parts, and they had created nice animated programs and videos and other things also. And what they had done is they had designated wellness facilitator or the facilitators in the schools and curriculum in the schools and the organization to facilitate this curriculum. Now, the sad part is, because I've taken this data from internet, and if somebody is there from NCERT and can enlighten us with new data, that would be great. So this program was launched under Ayushman Bharat scheme, but it's been 3 years now, more than 3 years, that only 15 of India's states have started it, launched it in their program. That too, weekly, only 40-minute session. 40-minute session, which you can say wellness session, weekly, is bizarre. Like, I'm being very, very straightforward. But according to me, if you are trying to inculcate some practices, if you are trying to tell students to practice being mindful or calm down your breathe, or you're trying to work on their anger issues, or you're trying to tell them about their physical health, body image issues, weekly 40 minutes class, I don't know how it can justify that. Okay.
Yes.
So from there, what I'm going to propose now starts. First of all, that's why educating all the teachers about well-being is important. Not only one person. I cannot go to door to door. Sorry, I cannot go to institute, one person and talking to 100 and 150 people for 1 hour and tell them, like out of the blue, I went and I told them that, no, you need to do this. No, you need to start this. You need to meditate or maybe box breathing and other things. And I'm vanished second day. Who is going to keep a tab there? Until and unless a teacher who is also motivated enough to take up or think about students' well-being, if they are not encouraged enough or motivated enough, then again, all the programs and other courses which we are thinking to brought upon the society will again, it all will go in vain. So from there, then I thought that why not to educate teacher rather than educating students first. Of course, student education is important. Rather than educating students, let's educate teachers first. And I'm going to present this first. Like, I've not spoken about this to anybody. Of course, first time we are discussing this. So this will be a teacher's guide, integrating well-being into the education system, a teacher's guide. When I say this, and when I was trying to develop this, that, what can we do, how can we do and all. So after lots of thinking and figuration, then I thought, why not to create this a 3-course series? Not like going to colleges and universities and there will be people and just 20 hours and it's done. No. This particular program is going to be a 3-course series program. First one, we are talking completely to teachers. That the empowered teacher, a comprehensive well-being program where we are talking to teachers about what is well-being, how you can, I'll talk about that, what we are going to cover up in this course. And then second part of this teacher's guide will be teachers toolkit well-being practices for empowering students. That how can they use the tools and practices which they have learned in stage first to empower the students. Then there will be third stage, that teachers and students will use the tools which they have learned in stage first and stage second in better classroom management. And not only classroom management, it's like general, like in your life, how you can use well-being for your self-development, improvement, societal development, environmental development. You can use that. So this is going to be a three series course. Now in this, because again, this will be all too huge to cover in one session. So for this particular session, I am going to only talk about the first stage. That is empowered teacher, a comprehensive well-being program. That's what we are going to do and all. So first of all, why wellness?
2 points, if you permit, 2 points. I just, because the audience is also participating actively. If you could be kind enough, I can just take it. Somebody's writing that burnt out teachers cannot give the best. And then somebody's writing, teachers also need love and care. Nobody bothers. Yoga practice daily for 40 minutes can also improve well-being of students, teachers, and ecosystem of our e-education. And of course, other ideas are coming. I'll share with you.
Yes, definitely.
One more question, ma'am. Somebody has asked, these well-being teachers, where are they being trained? Who is assessing them that they are equipped? They are carrying the right knowledge, basically as a wellness coach.
Yeah. So this, I think we need to ask NCERT.
Okay.
Who is, where are they guide? They are being guided, and is there any certificate program, and who are coaching them? I have not seen, like from past 1 week, I was doing all this research and I've not seen. And also in my society and other places in my social media handles also, I posted status and asking that in how many schools, or if your kid's school has something like this, or are you aware, like I asked my peer group, are you aware that in your kid's school, there is some program called health and wellness? So I guess out of 25 to 30 people, some 5 to 6 said that that they are doing yoga. Once in a week, they do yoga and yoga classes are there. I said, okay, fine. But then my thing is, well-being or wellness is much, much beyond than yoga. Yoga is a part of well-being. Of course, it's a major part of well-being. And those who are at least doing yoga or meditation, they are taking care of themselves. And it's really, really nice. But let's move ahead. let's see that what else we can do in the name of well-being and health and wellness courses.
Okay.
Now when we say that why wellness literacy is, amongst teachers, it is important, and we are not we are not educated enough. When I say we, means teachers. Until and unless somebody is interested in well-being and wellness, they won't be interested in knowing about the theories and models and all, because we already have so much from our own courses and academic courses and all. That's why I think it is really important for the institutes, teacher training institutes, where we are training teachers, that to have a course like this, and then teachers will take it forward in their institutes, where they are being recruited in the universities or in the schools, that why wellness is important, because now they have learned, and if not 100%, some 25% or maybe 10% will get inclined towards wellness and well-being in their life. And once you are inclined towards this, you are trying to improve others' life.
Okay.
Now,
Great. Somebody in the audience, I think, have met Dr. Ranjana Tiwari earlier, because she is writing that why not to have 5 days intensive workshop for the B.Ed students. What you said, somebody posted in the post,
nice.
so I think somebody is in sync with you. I think must have heard you somewhere. Okay, please go ahead. So why is wellness literacy among teachers important? Okay.
This is wellness iceberg model of health and wellness. What you spoke when I asked you that what's your opinion about wellness and student well-being and how a teacher should perceive it, you spoke everything which is related here. So what we see normally, I'll just discuss, because normally in this course we are going to talk about all these things in detail, but since this is the medium, this video is the medium of getting to the teachers and other educators, so I think I can share some or other nuances regarding this course and well-being in general. So what we see here, that you can see only 1/10 part of the iceberg is seen normally. So this is what happens in normal life as well. That's right. So when I was just thinking, what should I quote?
Please go
what
ahead,
should I say? Yeah. So it's like when we say, or any student is there, and if suppose a student has dark circles, okay, just hypothetically, I'm just taking an example. Student has dark circles under his or her eyes. You have seen that, student has seen that. Now what happens normally in the Western medicine science and medical science, so you'll try, because of the plethora of information available to us, we'll try to see how to remove dark circles. Apply this cream, apply that cream, or use some basin, and then this. We are doing that. Okay. Now you are seeing, you are an educator, okay? You are a teacher who goes to that class every day, and you are seeing that particular boy or girl, and his or her eyes are sinking. Then you should see that it's not because of, or whatever is seen there, it is being impacted by the lifestyle choices, lifestyle or the behavioral choices. That's behavioral level. Might not be sleeping properly, or diet, or this and that. Then we can say lifestyle and behavioral level is impacted by the psychological or motivational level. Maybe they don't want to sleep at night on time, or maybe their peer groups are awake by the time they are playing games and chatting and other things. They're not being motivated to make the lifestyle choices, good lifestyle choices, and that's why the state of health is like this. Now the last one, which you can see, the spiritual being, meaning realm, that's the most important one, which is the impact of our cultural norms. When I say cultural norms, it's very important, because it is embedded in our society, that societal norms. If you say like everybody would have gone that stage, it's 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, mom and dad will come and say that, it's nighttime, sleep. And in the morning, my mom will come by 6 o'clock or 6:30, and she will just switch off the fan and open all the curtains and say, "Ki abhi utho." And we'll say, "No, no, no, sona hai, sab sote hain and all, and this is the time we need to sleep." And because that's the norm which we have taught. But what happens that your spiritual or your cultural norm is impacting your psychological norms, and that is impacting your lifestyle, and that is impacting your health. And that could be your physical, your emotional, your mental health. Okay. And what we are seeing outside, or as a layman, you can see only the state of health. But as an educator, you should be aware about the lifestyle first, psychological and spiritual. Like you should be aware about their, as you had mentioned, about their maybe the financial condition, their habits or lifestyle choices they're having at home, also the environment they come from, so all other things. As an educator and as a counselor, that's why they have this for every now in every university they have. But what work they are doing at and at what level they are doing, that's questionable. Second is something which we spoke in detail last time also, and that was wellness wheel. That all the teachers, I would rather say all the individuals, regardless of their profession, they should know that what is wellness wheel, and they should know how to use it with detailed questionnaire. So last time what happened, I remember there was one lady, and she had asked that, could you tell us that how to use wellness wheel in the classroom? So that time I didn't have the questionnaire in my hand. And normally what happens if, and I tried it myself, that when you don't have the right questions which you are going to ask to yourself and to students, so they wouldn't be in the right state of mind to mark the answers. So what I did this time is I found out these all images are being taken from John Travis' book, Wellness Workbook. And in that book, he has beautifully shown that how you can use wellness wheel. And there is a huge questionnaire. Okay. And that huge questionnaire, again, if you're using it in the classroom and if you're using it in your institute and organization, you as a facilitator, teacher, and as a student, you need to be patient and you need to read properly and do it again. Again, this is not something which can be done in 40 minutes. Okay. Then we have, I'll use this here. Now, this is the wellness wheel which I'm talking about. If somebody who was not there last time, so this is the wheel which we had discussed last time, that these are the different segments of wellness and well-being. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 to 10, there are the numbers, and you can mark according to the questionnaire. So, and then you can create your own chart that, where do I lie in this complete wellness wheel and where we have to work on. So you first, as an educator, I should know this. Until and unless I know this, I know my wellness wheel, I cannot tell to students to do that. Then there is something else. Yeah. Then there is something which this course or this whole well-being matrix is based on. This is called wellness energy system. Now we can all talk about that we have to do this, we have to do that. But I feel that the generation or the students, I would say generally, that until and unless we tell them something scientifically or something with proof or something with better logic, they are not going to buy that. Okay. They are not going to buy that until and unless you tell them that, this is how it is done and you need to do this one. So you can see this wellness energy system. So again, this is taken from Dr. John Travis' book. And he says that our entire wellness system or our system, like body and our surrounding and all, it is like a pipe. There is an inflow, there is an outflow. So it's like what all things flowing in your body, and then what are the outflows. So here they have talked about 3 things: eating, breathing, and sensing. So this whole well-being and wellness thing is majorly dependent on these 3 aspects: what, why, how, and when you are eating. Okay, this is very important. Then breathing. Now, what, when, how, why you are eating. So I just thought that I should share this thing. when growing up, I think eighth standard, 8th to 10th, 11th standard. Oh, I'm talking about myself. So I suffered, I suffered from huge body image issues. Huge body image issue. Okay. Growing up, when I had transferred from Uttarakhand, like my father got transferred from one place to another, we came to there to Rajasthan. So it was a huge cultural shock for us, coming from army area to civil area, if I can say. Anybody shouldn't get offended or affected because this is how we used to say. Uh, there was a cultural shock, there was academic shock, there were people shock also. So everything was hugely disturbed for me. And then I started gaining weight. Okay, 8th standard. So when I started to gain weight, and I didn't know, that if you say food, this relationship with food wasn't good. So we were having food, everything was going on, this, fine, fine, fine. And there were like extreme measures I had taken to reduce weight, to look good, to come out of my body image issues. And it's not only me, it's about the other people, like society in general, your friends, your parents, your peer group. They all are trying to shame you some or other way, even if they don't intend bad, but because you are in that phase, so you will feel that other people are also saying this, and I already have issues and all. Although now I feel that from past 12 years, the relationship which I have with my food is so nice, so beautiful. And like I thank influencers like Luke Coutinho and somebody called Rujita Divekar and all, like who have inculcated, like they are not influencers who are into paid partnerships and all. They are simply providing the knowledge, lifestyle changes and all. So now I feel good. And I trust me when I say this, like there was 1 year back or something, I was feeling that why in school we don't give this information to students, not only students who are gaining weight, but who are not picking up weight, who are skinny. That's also issue. And all these students, some or other way, they are facing some body image issues. But we don't have anybody to guide us that way. Now, if there is somebody, I would be so happy to know about that. But still, looking at the data and other constraints, I don't feel so. If there is somebody, they are not doing their work properly, because we should guide students what, when, how, and why to eat. That's really important. Second, which is very important thing, is breathing. We forget to breathe. And breathing is such an important thing because, again, if you are feeling fatigue, breathe properly. If you are having sleep deprivation or sleep issues, breathe properly. Even now, if I feel too worked up and all, and I want to sleep, I'm feeling sleepy, but on bed, I'm not feeling, I don't get sleep properly, then I try to inhale and exhale from my left nostril for 8 to 10 times. And trust me, it has never happened that I didn't fall asleep. I always fell asleep. It's like
Yes, two things are very important what you are telling. Let our global audience also know about it. Dr. Ranjana Tiwari ji is telling this is your left hand, and this left hand and this particular portion of the body. Close your nostril, the right side. On the left hand side, inhale and then exhale. I don't want to do more than 2 times, otherwise I'll sleep here only.
sleep.
And secondly, also, man, this particular portion on the left hand, if you
Yeah.
press the center portion, only this
Okay.
portion, you go to
Uh,
sleep within no time along with
uh,
that.
I will try this. For sure, I'll try this one also. But I'm seeing that there are so many things in our books or in our heredity, but we are not promoting that. We are promoting sleeping pills.
Yes,
We are promoting
yes.
sleeping pills. We shouldn't do that. And students also. So I've seen students. They were like, I was taking classes in bachelors, and there were some students who came from abroad, and they were like, no, we have sleep issues. So I was taking sleeping pills. So morning I couldn't get up. So I was so amazed that why at this age and time you are having this? Why not setting up or changing your lifestyle? And third
Yes.
thing is sensing, which we need as a human being. This is also you said in one of your when you said that what you observe among students. So we need that sense of belonging. We need that sense of attachment. We need that emotional love and need. And if we are giving all these three things right amount to our body, to our soul and spirit, then everything, you will feel that. Even if life will not transform drastically for you, it's not something magically, something miracle happen, but you yourself will start feel light, and you won't feel any fatigue, you won't feel any emotional trauma or these issues. You feel more energetic, and you feel that I can sort it out if you face any issue. So this course again is based on wellness energy system, like this is one of the foundation. Then we have something called this is we should do every day. It was given by Dr. David Rock, and he says that every day we should have, we are having our food platter and all. Now, this is something which we need to follow for healthy mind. What he says is that every day you need to take out 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, according to you, time for these 7 activities. When you do these 7 activities, automatically your mind, your body, your soul, that spirit, you feel that calm, that balance in yourself. Okay. So sleep time, regulate your sleep time, not going here and there. Physical time. Now, physical time could be anything. It's like I mentioned before, it's not only about going to gym and making your body and building up and all. No, just go for a walk. Just go for walk. Or if you like any sports, go for sports, swimming, cycling, biking, hiking, anything. Just go engage in some sort of physical activity. Focus time. You need to focus on the work, what you are doing. Time in. You need to reflect. Reflect as in how you reflect normally. That's where journaling comes in picture. That's where gratitude comes in picture. That you need to start doing that. You need to have downtime as well. Downtime, like you're not doing anything, just sitting, and you're not focusing on anything. You're just letting your mind wander, and anything which is happening, anything and all. Then there should be playtime and connecting time. Connecting time is very important. This is connecting time with your friends, family, spouse, kids, anybody. So this is what we need to have in our. First, if you don't have it, consciously try to inculcate this mind platter. And once you are regulated with that, once you feel that okay, now somehow I've conquered this timing, so you can have this every day without consciously deciding on that. So this is again we have used as one of the base in our course. Third thing which is really important is PERMA theory. Okay, so PERMA theory was also devised by this scholar, and they said for the holistic well-being, you need to talk, and you might feel these are repetitive or these are redundant, but the ideas which we use during course development and all, so these will be different for just a back note that I went to Kendriya Vidyalaya. So in Kendriya Vidyalaya, throughout like my from first till 12th standard. So in Kendriya Vidyalaya, we have two sections, primary section and secondary section. So the course which I am proposing here will be customized for the teachers and the students, for those who are going to primary section and those who are going to secondary section. Because the ideas or the issues are different in both the sections, right? So here, that's why when we say PERMA theory, so PERMA theory will be different for using positive emotions, engagement, relationships, meaning like how we are discussing or what we are talking, and what's our relationship status, or do I feel meaningful in my life, what I'm doing, and do I feel accomplished? So these aspects will be different for primary section teachers and students and secondary section teachers and students, and so that it will be different for the university level or the institute level teachers and students. Then
people are very happy with the platter because it's They say it's a dinner time, it's a salad before that. Great.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So now what we are covering in this course and what we are trying to achieve
Hmm.
from this course. First, mental health awareness. It's like we have seen the data from teachers' statistics that the like one of the audience said about the burnout, the anxiety that you are burnout. How will you engage with students and how can you positively engage with students when you yourself are burnout, when you don't know how to come out of that anxious state and this, and you are irritable and you are just taking out or venting out your emotions on the students. So this is important to recognize, educate yourself, and then implement the practices for mental health for yourself and then later on for students that will come in their tip. Now, mindfulness is really important. When I say mindfulness, I recently did a course from Rice University about mindfulness, and I saw the other students from like there were very few teachers or academics. There were people from corporate life, and they were going ahead with this mindfulness program. And that mindfulness program wasn't something which is course taught or academic in nature. It was more what's the practical. So like we were lying down and we were doing mindfulness practices. There were different activities which we had done. We had given our inferences and other things. So I feel, and I actually felt that although I practice well-being and practice wellness and all, mindfulness is something which I have adopted recently. You know, everybody says, like our parents used to say from childhood, "Khana khate samay TV nahi dekho," and eat properly, dheere se khao, this and that. Everybody used to say, but again, out of habit and this, again, that iceberg will come in picture, psychological, motivational, social norm. We didn't do that, right? And nowadays, parents are even giving mobile phones to kids to watch. They are watching and then they are eating. I'm not saying like everybody has different circumstances, so it's totally up to them. But I'm just telling that social norm is there. It's the cultural norm, it has become. And that's how it is impacting our lifestyle and again, state of health. So now I have started mindfulness, and I'm being really mindful for whatever activity I'm doing. If I'm with my kid, I try to practice that phone to be like half an hour away from me, and we play and other things we are doing because I am consciously trying to have that healthy mind platter in my life. So I am consciously doing this so that when I do this and my son is looking at me and he's following me. So again, I am very assured that he is going to follow the same thing because kids imitate parents or either kids imitate teachers. They are the huge part of their formative years. That's why. So mindfulness is again something which we are going to have this in this course, how to have mindfulness and how to use mindfulness in your like lifetime. Then life coaching will be there. That how to go.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
sorry for the interruption. Sorry for the interruption. Somebody in the audience is asking the course which you have undergone. What was the duration? How many hours per day? And what exactly they covered? This
Yeah.
somebody is asking. So I thought let's kill this point here only. Hanji.
Yes. So it was 3 months course.
3 months.
Yeah, three
Okay.
months course,
Hmm.
and there were 3 hours of teaching
Hmm.
plus 2 hours of practical, like understanding. It's more about talking, understanding, learning from each other's behavior, learning from each other's choices and all. What was third question? First was duration and this.
Duration, contents. What exactly they
Yeah,
covered?
we covered about mindfulness. When I
Okay.
say this, so what is that? First that theory and all, because if I'm using that, I should be aware about what is
Yes.
the theory or the foundation of mindfulness. And then they covered how to include or inculcate mindfulness in your life, why
Hmm.
it is important, how to do that. We started with small thing like in the morning, whatever activity you are doing. So I'll just give an example because this is what I did. So they said, whatever activity you are doing, consciously try to be in that state just for 1 minute, and then explain us that what you felt and this. Obviously, I was like, I'm a huge chai lover. Adrak ki chai is like my favorite. But what happens every time I'm rushing through it? I'll make this, I'll do some other work, and I'm running through after kid and husband, I'm rushing them to office and everything. And side by side, my chai is there. I'm sipping on chai and other thing is happening. But that particular day, when the task was given, I took time. Yeah, I got up early. I made chai and other thing, and I sat quietly. Of course, it's difficult initially to stop your mind to wander. It will wander. It will you will think many things, but you will come back again to this. Okay, my chai is good. I'm sipping it. It's nice. It's tasty. And trust me, sir, after doing this exercise, now I'm very sure that those companies, that particular brand which I'm taking from past 10 years, they have changed something in their their recipe because the taste is different, which I used to have before. It's not like that. And I got to know after this mindful session. And this like this, we had different things like you have started something with morning activity, then you are going out and you are doing some mindful activity there, then you are sharing it and this and writing. It was more about showing gratitude and this thing. So mindfulness in your daily life, making it a lifestyle, gratitude and journaling. Those were the contents in that.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So then we are also going to have self-esteem, cultivating self-esteem as one of the major part of this course. That because what happens, this is my personal belief, that when we go through some physical, emotional, psychological or mental issues, I'll not say illness, I'll just say issues, we somehow it impacts our self-esteem. Okay, like I mentioned about myself, like I was going through body image issues. It affected my self-image, self-esteem. And I used to feel that why? Like for longest period of my teenage years, I think I felt that so. And that's why I think it is really important that, because what happens for educators, for teachers, nobody sees them. Like they are going out most of the time, they're with students or their peer groups and all, and they are trying to have that different life, different or dual life, that in house it's different, in profession life is different. And there are not many people who ask them, are you okay? Are you doing fine? There's lots of work and all. Are you doing okay? I'll just share another anecdote. It's just coming to my mind. I was in my third trimester of pregnancy, and my students had just like they had given exam and their results were out. Okay. So because of course I'm not going to say this to my students that I'm going to take leave and I'm going on maternity leave, don't call me, and this nothing. Like I didn't say this. I just I happened to, like, one day before of their result came out, I had started my leave. Trust me, sir, a boy's mom from Dubai called me again and again and again and again, and she was like, why my son hasn't scored well? I was like, okay. Like she had different things, and I was constantly trying to tell her that I'm not in the position right now to answer this, and I'm not going to university, I cannot check the marks and other things. So I wanted to help her out, but I couldn't tell her that I'm going through this and I'm already high on hormones and all. I'm trying to not stress out, I'm not trying to voice out loudly, because again that could become an issue. So many things were going on that ultimately impacts the teacher, because student has said something, parents have said something, peer group has said something, people have said something, and it's at last that's the only one person who is taking on all the things. Like he or she is at the receiving end. So it's really important for us as an educator to first recognize that we need something to boost self-esteem. Even if we try to say that we know everything, we can deal with everything, but somewhere in the back of our heads, we need somebody, some program or some mentorship where we can talk about this. But this is very important, circadian rhythm and breathing techniques, which we just, you also spoke about this acupuncture thing and all. I think most of the time, and this circadian rhythm is not something which is happening right now, or there is not some new gen term or new age term. This is something which is happening from the ancient time period. This is like you are trying to do the work according to your biological cycle, and that biological cycle is dependent upon the sun cycle. Like sun is rising and setting, so like that you need to divide your work plus those three things which we are inflowing in our body, that eating thing, breathing, and sensing thing. So circadian rhythm will be the major part of this course also. That telling the teachers, the educators, and then educators will take it forward to the students that why it is important. Why it is important if somebody is saying that don't eat post sunset, which I think is the major religious part of Jain culture, Jain religion, and it was the most important part of Hindu religion also. But somewhere lost in our generations and whatever we were doing. But now I think this is the right time to bring all these things back because they had the most prominent and positive health impacts. Okay. Then there is something called breathing techniques. As we spoke about that breathing technique from left nostril, there are some other things also. Okay. If you are feeling anxious, if you are feeling nervous, what kind of breathing we should do? Like pranayama is there, we know from one nostril and another nostril. That can happen one time. Then box breathing is something which we can do when we are feeling anxious. Then there is something who have this high palpitation thing. What kind of breathing we can do? If teachers know that, if educators know that, they can instantly help students with so many things for which they go outside, then they try to seek help in form of smokes or drugs or alcohol, which can be eventually avoided. Sometimes if that's your social norm, then it is different thing. If it is not your social norm, then it can be changed from psychological motivation, psychological level and your motivational level. Then we are going to talk about the emotional well-being because, as I said, most of the time there is nobody to listen to teachers, to educators. We are bombarded with the work. And work is like sometimes taking course, it's fine. Academic course you are taking, it's fine. You are maintaining attendance, it's fine. You are taking examination, you are checking sheets and other things, that's also fine. But you are talking to parents, that's different thing. Then you are organizing and you are the educators are the brand ambassador of the institutes, I think. Educators plus, of course, students, but educators primarily. But when educators are there, teachers are there, and they have this strong emotional control and they are brilliant in nature, then automatically the student and the organization and all is going to flourish. Then something which is very important, stress recognition and management. So it's important to first recognize the stress. We don't get to know, or we don't find out that whether somebody is under stress or not. If we are just feeling enough stress, doesn't mean tomorrow is my exam, I'm stressed. Not like that. Or tomorrow I have some meeting, I'm stressed. No. So you need to find out that what is stress and how you can manage stress. Okay. So these all things are not something which is like rocket science, which nobody knows, and I'm telling something out of the box. No, this is something which is already inherited. Okay. But sometimes what we need, like you would know about Jamwan. Have you heard about Jamwan, sir?
Haji, Haji.
Huh?
Absolutely.
What was the role of Jamwan? Why Jamwan was there? Because he ignited that. Because Hanumanji forgot. Remember, he forgot about his Shakti. So Jamwan gave him all those information and knowledge and wisdom that you can do this, you can do this. We also need Jamwan in our life. I feel that some other time, I'm not saying that I'm always this peppy and all. I also need some Jamwan in my life. And I feel that this course can do something like that. And just to listen, sometimes it's more than listening. There's somebody to talk to, somebody to listen to. And when we have some group like this, So when we have some group like this in your organization, in your institute, or in your peer group, so automatically the stress level and other things comes down. Then this is what one of the audience mentioned, that doing yoga, doing meditation. Now I would say, have you heard about Daljit Dosanjh? Daljit Dosanjh is like
Yes.
new Punjabi rock star. So I was
Yes.
watching his, I was watching his one of the podcasts recently, and he mentioned that while he was growing up, nobody had spoken about yoga. Nobody spoke about meditation. Nothing was there. Like he didn't know that what if there are yoga is there, so doing this and pranayam, surya namaskara, like this, he said. But he says that from past 3 years or so, he has understood what is yoga, what is meditation, and he has started doing this. And what profound impact he feels in himself, that solely, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally. And that's the impact. So most of the time, what happens that we just tell students, yoga karo. We are doing yoga. But let them come at that stage, okay, that age also, and tell them that why it is important. I was like you already know that I come from army family, and my father has served as religious teacher in Indian Army. So in my house there was a box. He had this huge army box where all these religious scripture and these were there. And during my summer holidays, it was like my hobby to read all these things. So I had read Gita before. Okay, Bhagavad Gita. I read Gita before. But something changed in me and I wanted to read it again now. And I'm reading it now. And the impact it has on me now is far, far different than what it had before. Okay. And that's why I feel there is a time, place, and age for everything. So, as an educator, if somebody would have told me that this is there, you need to do it like this. And if you're doing meditation, meditation doesn't only mean that you're sitting and then you are chanting Om and then only you are meditating. Meditating or mindfulness is a part of meditation. I would rather say that you are just lying down. That's called corpse thing. That you are just lying down and breathing. That's also meditation. You are not chanting, you are not doing anything, but you are just mindful, being mindful about the breath. And then there is something called sound and aromatherapy, and I'm huge advocate of sound and aromatherapy whenever you are doing this. Sound therapy for sure. Like all these bells are there, and these gong bells are there, shang, and this ocean sound, so many things are there. So why are we not using all these things and just doing all these exercises where students normally they don't get involved also? So I think, and it becomes when you are dealing with kids of age group 12 to 18, and then if I'm talking about this educated thing, it means I'm dealing with somebody who is 22 plus or 35 plus and all. So obviously they are not going to do yoga just by my recommendation. No, they're not going to do that, right? So we need to educate them why it is important, and then why I'm just a huge fan of sound therapy and aromatherapy, because that's like the catalyst. You are doing it as or these activities serve as catalysts in whatever activity you are doing. And then this is important, arts therapy. This is what I have started in my last, I think in our last talk also, I spoke about that. I went to one of the wellness conference, and there they had this art therapy session, and we were stroking and we were writing some Japanese words and terms, and they had converted that whole room as wellness room. So then again, that aroma, that sound and all, and it automatically connects with you, why it connects with you, and why most of the people are nowadays going for pottery session, pottery making and other things, because somewhere, it calms you down. You feel calm, you feel more grounded. That's why these things are also important for teachers. I don't know if for teachers, these things are already happening apart from yoga. If it is happening, I am so happy. If it is not happening, then let's do it. It's really important for us, for recognizing that they also need break. They also need break after this focus of this life. And this last, I feel, I'm not very positive about having this wellness room, because most of the time we are uh, we have the crunch of infrastructure in the institutes and all. And when we have crunch of something, and having a dedicated room will be there or not, I don't know. But I thought to share my views on that as well. That having a wellness room is again important. It's again crucial, where nobody is asking you anything. If I'm not feeling good, if I'm having a meltdown, or if I'm being too emotional any particular day, I can just go to that room, sit, no chairs, nothing, sit on the ground, sit on the ground, feel yourself. If you want to write down, write anything you want. There will be paper, pen. You want to burn that paper again, you don't want any other to see, do that. But there should be dedicated room, okay? And that dedicated room shouldn't be like four walls. It should be a proper wellness decorated room. I think that's important. And if not in the institutes, in the organization, in the schools and all, it should be there in the university. At least one room we can dedicate to this. If not in the university, in some institutes and all where people are working corporate culture, they can have that. Now, what are we expecting from
What
this?
are we expecting, Hanchi?
Yeah, what are we expecting? First of all, we are expecting, at least from educators' point of view, I'm saying, that they should appreciate well-being. They should appreciate wellness, not only in regard of the term that, okay, we know about well-being, but they should know, they should feel, they should inculcate in their lifestyle for their own development. Okay, they should understand that with well-being, we can actually achieve something. Maybe that was the blockage in our mindset before, but now we can actually remove that blockage, and then we can strive for the betterment. That's one thing, that personal empowerment, personal growth that we are trying to achieve. Then we need to be aware about ourselves, that our role as an educator, is it only about, are we just going to deliver the course for which we have been hired? Or we want to give more to the society in the form of course, because we are interacting with the students and all. So this is our pivotal role to shape the students of this era, of every era, in a way that they are more empowered, and they should be open about talking about their emotions, students. Because most of the time what happens, students can write down 1 page, 2 pages, 3 pages on an academic topic, but they are not able to talk about how they are feeling about themselves, or what is bothering them today, or why they are happy. We are happy, we are sad, I'm feeling bored, but why? So these things, I think it's very imperative that when you are an educator, it becomes important that you go, you talk to your students, you find out what's happening, and your role goes beyond that than academic deliberation. Then you need to work. Like this is, I feel that one of the takeaways from these type of courses will be that you would know that what kind of practices first you need to include in your lifestyle, and then when, where, how, and why you need to talk to students and ask them. Because most of the time what happens, students will follow if they see you doing that. If you don't do that, if you just say something in the that, okay, you can do this, you can do that, stop watching TV after that, or stop watching videos after this, or don't watch videos keeping your phones here and all, students will not follow this. Students or kids or any other person for that matter will follow only or imitate only when they see you doing that. If you don't do those kind of activities or practices in journal, you cannot ask them to follow you. then you need to see that you need to identify, you need to analyze the strength already which are there in you for achieving well-being. Well-being, again, I'm stressing on that point. Well-being doesn't mean being happy all the time, be free from any illness all the time. No, that's not well-being. Well-being is, even if you are sick, you are still striving for wellness. You are still striving for positive outlook. You are still
Absolutely.
striving for growth, well-being. So people can be, there is something called illness wellness continuum given by John Travis. He also said he was a doctor, and in his study he said that he had made one illness continuum and one wellness continuum, where he was saying for wellness you need to be educate, aware, and inform, and then always strive for betterment. And then he said a person can be ill, but that they can always face towards wellness continuum. And there can be people who can look absolutely at the top of their health game, but still they would be ill. Like they don't have positive outlook, or they are not looking at things positively, and they are cribbing and crying all the time. It means they have negative well-being. Like they are not at the top of their well-being game. They might be healthy, but they are not well-being well enough. Okay. Now, how we can do? So this is what I want to point out. We saw that in NCRT when I had put on that NCRT slide, that right now 40 minutes one wellness session is happening weekly,
In a week. In a week.
in a week. So what's the agenda of having this kind of course and educating all the teachers, irrespective of being from physical health background or not, but all the teachers, so that in every class, students can understand that wellness and well-being is a part of their life. It's a lifestyle, right? So it's not something which you are striving for only like a course. It's not a course, because we need to change the lifestyle of students, lifestyle psychology of the students, and then changing social norms. So we need to have this in every class, not just one part of their weekly curriculum. I was thinking that if you want to learn uh, how how a kid learns, like my kid speaks English, okay? How he's speaking English, I'm just giving very vague example, but this is what is coming through right now, because he's listening every time we are talking. He's talking to us in English, and other thing, and videos, and other thing is watching, and other thing, like everywhere it's like English. And he's right now fond of Titanic, so he's watching how Titanic sank and other things, so he's giving me all the information. Just imagine, I am providing him information of Titanic once in a week, 40 minutes. Will he remember that? No, he won't remember that. So to remember and to inculcate and to implement such things, you need to provide the information, ask them to implement every second of their classroom activity, of their life activity, post classroom. That's why it is important to have the well-being knowledge amongst the educators. Okay. So I guess, yeah, happy teachers for happy students. That's something which is our motto. The teacher should be happy. If teacher is happy, automatically students will be happy. They would come to classes. School level, I can't say anything for graduation or post graduation. At least for school level, they'll be happy. They'll be more they'll be more confident in communicating their ideas, their viewpoints, and you can see the positive outlook. Students can see positive outlooks. Students normally, they don't, like we saw in the data, that they are not going for counseling and other thing if they are facing any sort of issue. So at least they can talk to their teachers. And I believe that if something like this can be part of complete curriculum, like organization from root level. So just imagine a student who is studying from the teacher who is already aware about well-being concept, and how to get students implement these well-being concepts from standard first to standard 10th or 12th, then automatically that student is going to be well aware. Okay. So I'm talking about from 10 years or 12 years down the line. So what we can do right now for those students and those university students and all, to at least talk to them, be aware, inform about, get information about them, what's happening. Okay. What are their eating patterns? What are their breathing? Are they okay? You can see, any teacher can see that. The moment you enter in the classroom, and if a teacher is aware about their students and their classroom, they can sense that something is wrong with someone, something is okay, and someone is happy, and this is this and that. So I think teachers are quite aware about this, but somewhere because we ourselves are not being mindful enough, we get bogged down by the workload and all. And we need to inculcate all these activities and habits to empower ourselves so that we can equip students again. Okay, with this, I would like to stop here, but we can discuss if you have something to discuss or we have some question.
Absolutely, absolutely amazing, scintillating, scintillating, something very, very interesting. Now, two things over here, which everybody's talking about, that question many people have posed. I think we got to find out the answer later on that, and we can share with them that what exactly is the criteria, the prerequisites as far as the wellness coach are concerned. Those are taking classes with the CBSE. Are they Ayurvedic, yoga teachers, or are they some special teachers? Those are being trained because when they would be interacting with teachers even for 40 minutes, somebody is mentioning over here that that person has to be a good motivator, inspirational leader, and a positive trainer to induct that energy into those teachers, which will be ultimately transferred to students. Acha, somebody has also mentioned over here that particular person, the wellness coach or wellness mentor, whatever name you want to give it, why not that person once in a week should have the entire institution together, along with the teachers, along with the principal, along with everybody, like a morning prayer or something. And that day, students should come into track suit or something, loose clothes, the kind of a costumes, or no uniform, nothing of that kind, where they can't sit properly or they can't do the meditation or the practice properly. So something, I mean, the different views are coming up from different people. But first of all, maximum people are asking what is the qualification and how people are getting into, because I think these are B.Ed students only. Those are interested to know, those are going to be teachers, that how these 15 states which are introducing 40 minutes program once in a week, how many total have been taken, what is the prerequisite, what is the criteria. May not be today, we can give them later on, that's not a problem, but we'll try to find out some detail on that.
Yes, yes.
Then somebody is joining from Mughal Sarai, and that person is writing over here and on the WhatsApp to me, ki, sir, could you be kind enough to let us know these 15 are only in Delhi? Are they there only, or are they throughout India? So
Throughout
15
India,
states,
yeah.
they told he or she is writing. Is UP a part of those 15 states? I said I'll
Yeah,
ask and let you know. So we'll do some more homework on that. I think
yeah,
it's
yeah.
very important to know that. But
Mm.
on a whole, it is very important what you have given. Now, what are your recommendations? Let's talk about, and I presume that this video we share with the NCRT also, which is for
Yeah.
school education. We share
Mm.
with NIPA also, which talk about, let's take it, higher education. We take with the UGC and AICT also, and other such echelons what we have got in the education ecosystem, so that we share today's program with everybody.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
what exactly is your final recommendation? Then I would like to share something with you on that.
Okay. So, primarily this course we have designed and as we had envisioned to train the teachers.
Hmm.
Okay. to train the teachers. So first of all, I think that um, this program should be the part of teacher training programs.
Okay. Of the
Teacher training
B.Ed
program.
colleges.
Yeah,
B.Ed.
B.Ed
Okay.
colleges, B.Ed
So,
colleges.
so that
Yeah.
is point well taken, and that will go to National Council for Teacher Education.
Yes.
And
And say,
people, those are
yeah,
watching, we would certainly. And there is a lady, very dynamic lady, who's the not journal secretary, some other name you give it, and that madam is very positive. I saw her, very dynamic. I met her in the Dwarka Sector 10 National Council for Teacher Education complex office, whatever you want to call it, and she wants to really uplift the education ecosystem in
yes,
India. She's
yeah,
committed.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
Second, I feel that because if you are doing for teachers, then we should strive, or the universities should have student well-being council, I think, in the universities. Because in India, I have not seen, there is something called student counselor. Student counseling is extremely different. They are like poles apart, counseling and well-being thing. So the colleges and the institute should have something called well-being department or student well-being department, because as the number of we have seen the number of um, mental illness or issues are growing up, and the students are not coming up, and they are taking the extreme measures to somehow go away or somehow try to suppress their emotions and all. I think that if a person or a department also, if not one person, if suppose your university is gigantic, so you need to have at least a team of 2, 3 people who can go and who can coach students there. In the university level, I can still feel that weekly talking to students can work. Okay. But not at the student level, student as in school level. In the university level, because they already have some social conditioning, they already have some cultural conditioning. So there you cannot change it overnight. You need to go, you need to talk to them, and maybe weekly, and then they will feel secure to talk to you, then they'll come back and all. Because there in the university, they are with you for 3 years, for 4 years. Some people are there for 5 years. So you can have that bond, and then you can start working towards it. So my recommendation as of now, one, for teachers training program, full course, this. And second, for the university level, there should be some well-being department, well-being, student well-being department per se. And that well-being department can take sessions on, can take faculty development program for teachers. They can take programs for the researchers, because researchers also, they also go through so many things. They are doing their PhD and taking classes, and so other things are there. So for university level, a department, and they can structure their program. They want to do it weekly, fortnightly, and all, but at least a dedicated place where students and teachers can come and vent out without being judged. And at the school level, there should be a full-fledged program.
Okay. Now, I just wish to share over here because somebody has written. In 2013, there was a RUSA, Rashtriya Uchitar Shiksha Abhiyan for Higher Education. When that policy was framed, over there we had given the recommendation for finishing school, and that was the integral part. So now, post-pandemic, with the finishing school, we have also brought digital inspirational labs, and where we are talking about making education and skills relevant. Now, somewhere in between, somebody had posted the comment. I was trying to locate that. And that was something very interesting where somebody made a mention. Teachers should not be given too much of administrative task. Rather, they should be devoting more time for their research, for their subject specific, and they should be for well-being and counseling and a couple of other programs.
Yeah.
Somebody also made a mention over here.
I totally agree with that.
Okay.
Totally agree with that.
Okay.
Because, we already have administrative department in the colleges and university, right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
still, when I say that, because that's my personal experience, that what
Hmm.
not I did.
Hmm.
I have even arranged library.
Hmm.
Although I was a PhD scholar, so I didn't mind. I was so happy. I felt, sir, it's like personal thing, but I never felt stressed in my
Hmm.
academic career. I enjoyed my work a lot. I enjoyed my work a lot. So, but I've seen other people, like my friends and all, they used to get stressed or angered or the issues, the emotions. They're happy, they're sad, they're crying. Like if student has said something, they'll start crying. And I always assume because they were already bottled up from their home environment, and somehow it triggered and came out, right? So, but personally, I've not been in that situation. I've enjoyed my academic life, teaching, but I feel that administrative work is too much for that. And in India, trust me, in India, we don't have something like, when I say India, because now I am in touch with my other counterparts, with them. I work on journal editing, I like the special issues and book writing and workshops. So I know that for them, it's either teaching, like they get hired also either on teaching basis or research basis, or for like 60% teaching, 40% research. It's very, very determined. Okay. But we don't have that line here. So everything is blur here. And sometimes you need to this. There will be some meeting, there will be some board, there will be some organization coming for inspection. And then we get, super hypered and overworked. And that time, then we need to go home, and especially females, they need to go home, they need to take care of family, then nobody will cook until and unless they come home and all. I'm not saying 100% families, but most of the families, let's face the truth, it's the truth. So yes, I that point is well said, that administrative work should be lessened down.
Okay. Somebody else has already also written over here that we should have less syllabi. It should not be
Yeah,
that large or that big a syllabi in India. If we reduce the syllabi, teachers' burden will be reduced. Teachers would be in a position to do more justice, and at the same time, somebody has written the classroom size, the number of students in each class should also be less. That is student to teacher ratio somebody is talking about. So that is
yeah,
also something again very important. If you have got a huge number of students in one class, how one teacher is going to, of course, technology
of
plays very
course.
important role. You can
Yeah,
find out, you can see who is talking, who is sleeping, who is getting up, who is you know what all. But still, if there is a smaller size, it's much better. That is also one of
yeah,
the recommendations.
yeah. So
So it's
please.
it's interesting. It's very stimulating. It's giving lot of rejuvenation, and we got to think about practical implementation of wellness program, wellness counselors, and
Yeah.
who are the wellness counselors? Because somebody wrote that, like in B.Ed, you have got a psychology as one of the subject.
Yes, yes,
Got to
yes,
understand child psychology, parent
yes,
psychology. Somebody else has also made a mention. So over here, for the
yeah,
wellness, person must know all kind of wellness.
yeah, yes.
Different forms
Now,
of the wellness.
now what I'm saying, or what I'm suggesting, not all the teachers who are going to classes. Like suppose I'm a science student, and if I'm a B.Ed student, or maybe I'll take up science classes and other things, and I'll go. I might not be very interested to study BA in psychology. Okay. I might not be interested because I know that I don't need to make my career in this and all. But because if we are suggesting that you need to understand well-being and this and that, that's why this course is designed keeping the major psychological theories and models so that you can understand. And if suppose I'm interested in that, I've never studied psychology, but I'm going to take up that course now because I'm interested in that. So I'm going to do that. So being a wellness warrior, if we are going to give this term, I think the primary requirement is your motivation. Are you motivated enough? Are you motivated enough to change first your well-being and then empower your students? Or you are just asking it so that you are seeing another job opportunity? This is truth. So you need to say that if I say that I've not done psychological training or this thing training, I've not done, but I'm so passionate about this. I'm so motivated towards it. So I get to ask that, this, and I learn. You can learn anytime. You know, you can learn anytime. You can do degree anytime. It's just a degree. But are you able to implement those theoretical knowledge as practical knowledge? That's more important. And that can be
Absolutely.
taught. That can be taught.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it was amazing session. There is so much we all picked up, and there's so much. Platter people enjoyed quite a bit. That plate, because the dinner
Yeah.
time is there, so people saw the plate nicely, and they really
Yeah.
appreciate. Your final remarks before we close the session.
Be aware, informed, and get educated. That's it.
Okay.
Aware about yourself, aware about your surrounding, aware
Mm,
about your spirituality also.
mm,
Don't consider spirituality as negative thing. I think like most of the people consider spirituality as negative term, like sannyas later.
mm.
It's like connecting with your higher self. So just be aware. I think that would be my concluding.
Okay. So towards consciousness. Okay.
Towards consciousness, correct?
Towards
Yes.
consciousness. Okay. Okay. Great. Otherwise, also because I'm very fond of tourism. You're also fond of tourism, spiritual tourism. That's something.
Yes.
There is a quest. There's a
Yes.
thirst. There's a hunger, and there's a demand for spiritual tourism. People have
Yes.
got all the gadgets, all the facilities. They've got everything abroad. Still, they want to come to India. They're not
Yes.
interested to come for the seven-star hotels or other thing. They want to experience spirituality,
Yes.
spiritualism. That is something really very good. One last question,
Yes.
and you will be true. You will be true. Okay, you'll be
Yeah.
honest to me. You'll be
Okay.
honest. First time
Huh.
when you read Gita and the second time when you read Gita, what difference you found? You got to be true. You got to be true.
Yeah. I will be.
Hmm.
First time I didn't question myself,
Hmm.
but second time I was questioning.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you
When
question yourself, that's all. Who am I?
no,
Why I'm
no,
here? Uh,
no. Not these things.
uh,
When I was reading it, I was able to comprehend
uh,
that what's going on,
uh,
what Sri Krishna is saying to Arjun, why
uh,
Arjun is doing this,
uh,
and I guess first two adhyay, when Sri Krishna said that you need to no, you need to fight. Okay,
uh,
you need to fight. You need to take up your Gandev and you need to
uh,
fight. I was
uh,
like, why is he forcing him if he doesn't want to? This was
uh,
my thought process.
uh,
Then that Hindu Brahman thing comes in. Then I was like, no, Bhagwan ko kaise bol sakte ho? But I was like, it's okay. I'm just questioning it, right? Then why he's asking this or
hmm,
why he's forcing when he
hmm,
doesn't want to do, let it be.
hmm,
But then later on, when I proceeded, then I got to know, oh, there is much more thing.
hmm,
We see only tip of the iceberg. We
hmm,
don't see what's going on there.
hmm,
And Sri Krishna saw that. And that's why he's imparting that knowledge. He's trying to change that social norms and cultural norms. And then
hmm,
he's trying to change other things. So my
hmm,
thing, this was my thing that initially when I read for the first time, I didn't care what's happening. It was like a just story, it's going on and all. But second time, I questioned, like I thought. So I think that's more important. Maybe after 10 years when I read again, I'll be in different state of mind and that will have different impact on me. So I think this is something which everybody should read. I was just talking to my mom that, I've started reading and I still remember I read Bhragu Sahita and this was written on this. So my mom for a second thought that, what all did you read? I was like, I I enjoy it. I enjoy, and I'm going to read it again. You know, like my
After
experience with
some
Gita.
time, after some gap,
Ha ha
after
ha.
some
After
gap.
some
Yes,
gap, yes,
yes, yes.
yeah,
So that the interpretation is going to be higher consciousness.
yes, yes.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've been told many times by many friends, go through Srimad Bhagavad Gita because it gives you so much of insight and all. In spite of my best efforts, I have not read full. I own it and I accept it, maybe because of other commitments. And sometimes I would be too simple to say, maybe sometime I don't even understand certain logics and connotations and interpretations and metaphor. So
Yes,
maybe it will take little time for me to get through. And it was something wonderful from Dr. Ranjana Tiwari ji today with regard to the wellness. And we are very clear about it. It is all kind of wellness. We are not talking only the school wellness. We are talking at home wellness also, your workplace wellness also, your environmental wellness also, and something very important, I would take it one step ahead, your economic wellness also.
yes,
Because if you are running pillar to post, somebody is not well at home, and you are not in a position to foot the bill for that medical checkup. So, people, those are watching, and if they are from medical fraternity, let's be honest, let's not give heavy bills and hefty bills and unnecessarily to the people. We should be very true to ourselves and to the conscious. सब कुछ यहीं रह जाना है, कुछ भी साथ नहीं जाना है. So
Gita.
wellness is very important. So wellness is very important, which we all have to take the best possible way. It was really wonderful, such a engaging session. People enjoyed it so much, and many more such occasions. There's so much to pick up, so much to learn. And next time, I'm looking forward to when
Yes,
your buy is ready, your
yeah,
contents are ready, and let's do one program after a couple of months where
yeah,
actually you will sit in a posture,
mm,
in a kind of education counselor, and you will
yeah,
do the practical part. We'll do
yes,
that kind of a program. Let people
yeah.
get the practical part of it, and I will also come in tracksuit so that I also try and perform. पैर मुड़ेंगे तो नहीं, जितने मुड़ जाएंगे उतने ही ठीक है, लेकिन थोड़े कोशिश करेंगे. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Thank you
you
very
so
much.
much, sir.
And
Thank you.
such a pleasure to have you. May God bless you and keep growing, keep shining, keep moving ahead, keep learning more, and your wisdom should be shared like a sprinklers all around to the humanity the best possible way. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And our beautiful audience, namaskar. And those are abroad, it's a beautiful morning for you. Those are post lunch in Europe, go for your evening tea and whatever you want to enjoy. And those are in India, join me for your own dinner at your own home.